Good Monday morning. We're tracking the tropics here at 13 News Now. I'm meteorologist Melissa Terrazas. Now let's take a look at this year's Atlantic hurricane names. Now we had Alex earlier this year, Bonnie, Colin. It was definitely off to a slow start. Then we began to kick things up a bit. We had Danielle, Earl, Fiona not too long ago, Gaston, Tropical Storm Hermine, and now we are tracking what is Hurricane Ian along parts of the Caribbean. It is currently a Category 1 hurricane, which means that it has sustained winds that are greater than 74 miles per hour. They're currently right at 75 miles per hour as of the latest advisory. It is moving northwest at about 14 miles per hour. It's projected to gain some strength as it continues to move north. Brings impacts to parts of the Cayman Islands and parts of Cuba. We're talking about high winds, the possibility of storm surge, and also heavy amounts of rain. As it continues to move north, it'll impact parts of the Gulf of Mexico, gaining its strength and possibly reaching a Category 4 hurricane before weakening into a Category 3 hurricane just before impact to the state of Florida. Now, whether or not it's going to be a Category 1 or 3 is still uncertain, and the direct area of landfall is still uncertain, but we do know that it is heading north up towards the United States coastline, towards the state of Florida. We have watches and warnings in place for the Cayman Islands later today, parts of Cuba, western Cuba. We also have hurricane warnings for areas along parts of coastal Florida, south of Tampa, and also along areas for the Keys. Now, let's take a look at the three major models, which is the Canadian, European, and the American. Right now, as a Category 1 hurricane, the models do agree that it's going to continue to move north, impact parts of western Cuba, from there enter the Gulf of Mexico. Beyond that, one of the models, which is the Canadian, brings it out a little further west, keeps it in the Gulf of Mexico. So does the American model. The European model takes it a little further east and impacts parts of the Florida coastline near the Tampa area, Clearwater as well. And then all the models bring it up towards the northern or the Florida Panhandle from there. Where the moisture is going to go from there is still uncertain, but two of the major models are now saying it's going to push east. It's going to bring heavy amounts of rainfall for parts of Georgia, the Carolinas, and even for us here across Hampton Roads, while one of the other models takes it up generally north. Here's a look at all the models. Again, they're beginning to become more tightly packed. Again, bringing in the hurricane now. What is Hurricane Ian? Further up north, impacting parts of Cuba, entering the Gulf of Mexico. Where it'll exactly make landfall along parts of Florida is still uncertain, but we know we are forecasting some heavy amounts of rain here across Hampton Roads. Now here's a look at what one of the models is saying, because we do want to take a look at two of the major models, a closer look, the American model and then the European model in just a second. The American model has it impacting parts of Cuba, it brings it up north, and then it brings impact to areas near coastal Florida just before your Friday afternoon. So this event can really take place late Thursday into Friday. It brings in that moisture as early as Friday and then keeps it here during the weekend. Your European model does very similar things. Again, it brings in the storm affecting parts of western Cuba, continues to move it north, gaining strength. We have those warmer waters from the Gulf of Mexico. As the hurricane continues to move north, dumping moisture over parts of Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and for us here across Hampton Roads. So definitely something that we're watching for us here across coastal Virginia, northeast North Carolina. It does look to be a heavy rainmaker. We could see some hazardous weather conditions. Heavy downpours will be possible at times and high winds.